What's up, everybody? Welcome
For
back to Just Pod Ferda, episode 5. We'll be going over the NFC AFC Championship games, a little bit about the NBA and the defense, or lack thereof, GLV Player of the Night, and trivia. Tap in. All right, so jumping into the AFC Championship game, Elliot, why don't you start off giving us some thoughts on that game?
Yeah, this game sucked. Just like off the top, like the first thing that's worth noting is this is why the Ravens OC will not get a head coaching job. Ravens play calling in this game had 16 total carries. 8 of them were non-quarterback designed runs, and of those 8, 2 of them were jet sweeps. So they had 6 legitimate running back handoff play calls in a game in which they were within striking distance the entire time. They were the number one rushing offense in the league, averaging about 5 yards a carry. Um, they only had 3 first down runs, and they went for 17 total yards. So they averaged over 5 yards a carry on first down when they actually gave it to their running back, and they got away from the run entirely. They made Lamar drop back 3-step, 5-step drops and try to dot up a Chiefs defense that has been phenomenal against the pass and prevented big plays all year. They gave up one big play, and then Zay Flowers ruined that big play moments later anyway. So I just feel like the Ravens beat themselves today with their play calling on O. They got away from what had them as the 1 seed, and they let the Chiefs defense stifle them the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, just to piggyback off of that, I feel like Baltimore did a really poor job of establishing, like you said, the run game, but not just the run game, like establishing their presence as a team. Their presence as a team all year has been play good defense and run the football. And I think that going away from that just kind of maybe even just shocked the players a little bit at the time because I mean, like Gus Edwards had 3 carries for 20 yards. Does that not say we should probably run the ball a little bit more? I don't know. I think that getting away from the run game hurt them, and I'll say this just to get it off my chest. Patrick Mahomes is getting what everybody claimed Tom Brady used to get. Uh, if you're gonna hate on Brady for having a good defense, this is an incredible defense in Kansas City right now. They're playing at their best all that they've been playing all year. Um, I mean, Mahomes just very simply has been just not going to lose you the game. You know, he's been just not going to lose you the game guy. Like 30 completions for 241 yards. Are you kidding me? I mean, he's the best quarterback in football, and that defense made him check it down quite a lot or quite a bit. And Pacheco 24 carries for 68 yards. The defense stopped the run. Like you can't say
They
enough.
didn't score in the second half.
You can't.
Kansas City
Yeah,
didn't score in the
you
second
can't
half.
say enough
Like
about Baltimore's defense and how they adjusted and how they handled a big time quarterback running back duo. Uh, and the offense just didn't step up and they weren't there when they needed to be. So I'm pretty excited that the Panthers didn't hire Todd Monken now.
Yeah, to like touch on what something what Elliot already said. Yeah, they had Lamar dropping back and just sitting. And my biggest thing when I'm watching the game, I was like, there's so many times and so many opportunities where it opened up and he would have a chance to run and pick up yards. And instead he's throwing these, incomplete passes or he's throwing a pick in triple coverage. Like it's just like all these plays. It's just run the ball. And again, y'all keep saying it, but I'm gonna talk about the Chiefs. The Chiefs really they played so what's the word conservative. Like they played conservative. They kind of sat on the ball, just used the clock, and really just
they
let
did
the
the
Ravens lose.
opposite of what Dan Campbell did today.
Yeah, basically, and just let let the Ravens lose the game. But the biggest takeaway for the Ravens defense is that this the third downs just got away from them. They just couldn't find a way to really force the three and outs. And I mean, not like it led to much points anyways, but that's time and time off the clock. That's more time of possession. Kansas City dominated time of possession, and just little stuff like that adds up, and that's why.
In field position, like
Yeah,
you're
field
getting pinned
position.
back deep every
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Um,
I think they did pin him. Yeah, they pinned him on the 1 yard line at one point.
yep.
I don't exactly remember what they ended up doing with that, but
I think that was the possession the Ravens ended up getting 3. So
okay.
Yeah,
But
the
yeah,
the the,
I
the
mean,
time of possession, Kansas City 37 and a half to Baltimore 22 and a half. Baltimore also had 8 penalties for 95 yards when Kansas City had 3 penalties the entire game for 30 yards. Um, it was just a well played game by the Chiefs and a very undisciplined and getting off your game plan game from the Ravens. Like it almost looked like, oh, we got to where we didn't think we were going to be. Let's panic. And
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 even with that being the worst the Ravens have played pretty much all year, other than maybe that Browns game they lost or one of the two Steelers games, I forget which one. They looked bad twice essentially all year. But that was like the worst the Ravens have looked, and they still arguably like win that game. If Zay Flowers isn't taunting and then diving into the end zone like we've seen people fumble, like it's like every week now we see someone fumble trying to do that.
DJ
But
Chark, ring a
yeah,
bell.
like if we would just stop doing that, but the Ravens still had the opportunity to win this game because their D did what it had to do to win this game. You hold Patrick Mahomes to 17 points in the game and 0 points in the second half, you should win the football game.
And
The
6
Ravens,
yards per completion. And
yeah,
Pacheco
the
had
Ravens
two
had
2.8
touchdowns.
yards a carry.
Ravens have a touchdown get fumbled, and then you're driving with a chance to tie the game there at the end. And you like I saw some people on Twitter saying like, "Ooh, that was probably a PI unlikely." I don't give a like you throw a ball in triple coverage with the game on the line, you deserve to lose. That's Jordan Love on his game-winning drive type decision making. Except instead of a first-year starter doing it, it's a soon-to-be two-time MVP doing it. That's inexcusable. No more words on that. That was just ridiculous to me.
All right, I'm gonna since we're gonna spend some time on these two games, I'm gonna go into the positives for each teams, and we'll just go off of that, like what you see maybe moving into next year for the Ravens, or what you see moving into Super Bowl weekend for the Chiefs. And I'll start out. I will say Zay Flowers made some boneheaded plays, but that kid's got a really bright future as a wide receiver in this league, and a potential absolute banging slot wide receiver like an Amon-Ra St. Brown type of guy, like a I won't say a Cooper Cup type of guy, but like a
I
St.
was
Brown.
gonna say he reminds me a lot of Ayuk with what he can
Yeah,
do in the open
yeah,
field.
he reminds me a lot of Ayuk, just not as tall. Uh, but he's got a chance to be really special. And I'll also say that if that Ravens defense can keep all those pieces together, man, they got a real shot again next year. It defense is wins championships. It really does. Like you got to have a good quarterback, you got to have a good offense, but to be in that game at all is because of that defense, and I think that's a big part of what they're doing in Baltimore. So I'll let somebody else go on to some positives for the Chiefs.
Um,
Um,
I'll just I just
Go
want
ahead,
to
go.
touch one more thing on Baltimore. Um, I mean, their season had a lot of injuries and where it caused a lot of what's the word? Just people that probably shouldn't have been out there. Like today, there's certain like people in the secondary that were out there. Um, what I'm trying to get to is like, how can they? Hopefully, they can put together a season where you just don't have all this like turnover and all this like missing matching on the roster. Hopefully,
Yeah,
if they
they
have
had
a
like
little bit
five
more
running
luck
backs for their
in a way,
snaps
they
this
can
year.
hmm,
Keaton Mitchell,
They had
J.K.
like five
Dobbins,
running
Gus
backs.
Edwards,
Like
Justice
starting
Hill.
snap.
Yeah, I mean, and they were
but
all they were all good.
At one point, they were having Melvin Gordon and Dalvin Cook tote the
yeah.
Brock. So
I don't know
So
how much better they
6.
could get, like personnel wise, but
It's a good point, man. Like
uh,
they got
yeah,
a good to great quarterback. Shows flashes of great at times. They got a decent running back room. Like a superstar running back would definitely help them with the way they play. But like they got a decent running back room. They got Zay Flowers. I think they could benefit from maybe another wide receiver. But they got a Mark Andrews and they got an incredible defense with two of the best middle linebackers in the game right now, and Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith. So I mean, I think that team's going to be scary as long as they can keep that core together.
I may be giving up on Rashad Bateman though. I've had 2 years of being like, oh, he'll eventually break out, and he doesn't do it. I'll go into. I mean, the Chiefs are playing for like their fourth Super Bowl. Like they're making their fourth Super Bowl appearance in the last like 5 years.
Going for the
Um,
first back to back since Brady, and was Brady
oh
the
three oh
only to
four
go back to back?
oh three oh four was Brady's back to back.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, there's not many things that aren't positive about the Chiefs. Like I mean, the only things you can say that are bad is Kelsey's kind of aging a little bit, and their wide receiver room's a little weak. But I mean,
There's plenty of
they
ways to
have the best
solve that, man.
defense. Yeah, they've had the best defense they've had in the entire Mahomes era.
They
This is
got
the deepest wide receiver draft class I think I've ever seen.
with a
Like you
pretty
can
good
get,
wide receiver free agency,
yeah, you got Higgins and Evans in
and
wide receiver free
Boyd
agents.
and Hollywood, and I mean it's deep in the wide receiver class.
Yeah, Hollywood wouldn't mind the Ravens going to reunion
Yeah,
those guys together. That wouldn't be a bad look for them.
I
But
go
man,
ahead.
they're so good. They're
Yeah.
so good.
I'll say one thing about the Chiefs, man, is Snead and McDuffie have turned into two cornerback ones on the same team. Uh, they've developed really well over the last couple of years, and this year they're really both playing like cornerback one level guys and guys that you would want to have on your team at to shut down an opposing wide receiver. So having two of those guys, having Chris Jones up the middle, Karlaftis has been good off the edge this year. Nick Bolton's always solid. I mean, it's a good defense.
Yeah, I don't have much to add about the
Unsung
Chiefs.
unsung hero for the Chiefs these last couple weeks, dealing with some injuries over there, especially like the Willie Gay stuff happening. Drew Tranquil, guy's
Yeah.
been a stud. Guy has been a stud. There was a series where he both has a sack and a TFL on a running back on back to back plays today. Just a little skinny white dude running up the middle. It made me happy to see. All right, but that's it. Drew Tranquil, unsung little defensive MVP, stepping up.
All right, so do we want to move on to the NFC Championship? Uh, we all saw it coming. You know, we may have picked like we didn't see it coming, but we all saw it coming. Um, the Lions with an absolute Atlanta Falcons level disaster class in the second half. Oh,
Kyle Shanahan was on the other side, being like, "What are y'all doing? That's my role.
yeah,
You're copying my whole flow."
yeah. There's not too much you can say about the final score other than Dan Campbell might have made a few boneheaded decisions, and by that I mean he did. Um, but that roster's talented, man. They'll be back next year. They're going to be strong again next year. I'm looking forward to seeing the Lions be a good team because they deserve it. They haven't been good in so long. So why don't we just go ahead and dive into what we saw in this game?
Um, this game to me is why there's a good saying of, did your team win the game, or did you lose because you lost the game, or did the other team win the game? And this is the definition of it, because the Lions lost the game. The 49ers, they didn't do anything super spectacular. They weren't, firing on cylinders all the entire game. But the Lions just gave them every opportunity they could and shot themselves in the foot. So, I mean,
To kind of
it's just
piggyback
tough.
off of that before Elliott jumps in and says that they did do something spectacular, I know that they scored on like every single drive in the second half.
Literally all of them.
You're down
All
20 or you're up 24-7. You have I mean, there's no way that you score 7 points in the second half and let them outscore you 27-7. I mean, in the 7 that they scored in the second half was just pity. Like that you can't that cannot happen. That you can say that, oh, the Niners offense they just hit a different gear. You held them in the first half. Let's do something. Let's change something. Let's not let them go short pass, deep ball, run. Let's not let Christian McCaffrey walk the ball into the end zone from the 1 yard line. Like they got into the red zone and Detroit just gave up. Like as soon as San Francisco is in the red zone, Detroit goes, we'll get them next drive. Like as soon as that ball crossed the 20-yard line, it was like Detroit was giving up.
Yeah. So what I think the Niners did spectacularly, and I've seen some people that are big analytics guys pretend this doesn't exist, but very rarely do you see a team completely fall behind, look defeated, and then be able to take back the momentum. And they were able to do that. So Dan Campbell and analytics, or I don't know if he's an analytics guy or if he's I have a huge sack guy on why he's going for it on fourth down. But what those numbers don't tell you
It's the
is
Mo.
when this goes badly for you, that other team that looked defeated instead just went, oh my God, we just swung this 3 points back in our favor. Oh, we just swung another 3 points back in our favor. And you let these guys hang around and scratch and claw, and then you've lost the momentum. By that second time they go for two or they go for it on fourth, they've lost the momentum. And now, oh, the analytics say you probably got a 60% chance at getting this 4th and 2, right? But when you are flat and you're defeated a little bit, that number isn't that the accurate number. You know what I'm saying? So I think we need to understand, like, the head coaches in this league need to understand that the score and the flow of the game do matter when you're making these calls. You can't look at every single 4th and 2 that's ever been run in the history of football and be like, we've got a 70% shot at this, because in the history of football, that's what it
You got a
is.
70% chance to get 2 yards. Like,
Yeah, that's not this game. That's not this roster, and that isn't these two teams that are playing on January 28th at 10 o'clock.
in the
Like
biggest game you've ever coached.
all of these things matter, and these guys are. I mean, I get it. Like Dan Campbell and his huge nuts. That's the reason they're here. Like he's been going for it all year. It's what he does. But at some point, you have to acknowledge, like, man, John Madden said, if they give you points, take them. Let's take these points. Michael Badgley they played in 3 playoff games this year. Michael Badgley went 3 for 3. Like, I don't know. I just,
The
the
fresh
San
out of the
Francisco
half.
49ers won the game, but it was both entirely in part of them being dominant in the second half, but also Detroit letting them take the game from them.
You come out of the half with the chance to make it, 27-7 there, and you don't do it. Or was it? Did they kick the field goal before or after?
They kicked a field goal before half, and then afterwards they don't.
Yeah, yeah,
So he takes his 3 going into the half, and
yeah.
then
And
coming
then
out.
they got the ball coming out of the half, correct?
No,
No,
I
San
think San
Francisco
Francisco
kicked the
did
field goal
scored.
first.
Yeah, San
Yeah.
Francisco did scored 3, and then Detroit had an
Yeah,
opportunity to
so
match that
yeah,
3.
you have the opportunity to go, "Oh, you can score 3 points, so can we." We just walk down the field. We got a 40-yard field goal. We got a good kicker. We're going to make this a 17-point game, keep it a 3-possession game. And instead you're playing the analytics that say, "Oh, we can get this. We can if we get this, we have this amount of we can score this touchdown." Like, I don't think that there was a lot of thinking ahead in that situation, as in, like you said, like as Dick Vitale used to say, the Mo just completely swung. Like, they
The
swung the
Mo,
Mo.
Big Mo.
They swung the Mo.
Um,
And the
I
Mo
will
is
say
important.
though, Josh Rhodes did drop that conversion.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Jared Goofball put the ball in his hands and it dropped it. But like I said, high pressure situations, that stuff like that can happen.
Yeah.
You have to factor all of these things in.
Yeah. I just wanna highlight just a few things. Uh, I think both offenses played really well, especially the 49ers in the second half. But Jared Goff played a great game. He did. He played a great game. He didn't turn the ball over, but on the fumble, or did he? Yeah, he had a fumble
No,
at one point, right?
no, it was Gibbs. Gibbs
That's right.
fumbled.
That's right. The
He
Gibbs
handed it off
fumble.
to Gibbs.
The Gibbs fumble. So Goff didn't turn the ball over at all. Montgomery ran the ball well. I mean, they did all the things you should do to win a game that you're winning 24-7, and they just couldn't do it. And I think it's just proof that top to bottom, San Francisco is the better team right now.
This is also just something I found. I don't know, like off the top of my, I didn't look at the box score after the game or anything like that. But Monty was running the hell out of the pill today, and Dan Campbell and co. literally Kyle Shanahan from the Super Bowl. They had a running back that was toting the pill like Freeman was in that
15 for
Super Bowl.
93 and a touchdown,
Yeah,
6.2 a carry.
they had a running back that was just toting the piss out of the football, and you're up big in a game. Literally, you should go conservative clocking, taking the play clock down, and feed the guy with the hot hand. And you don't do it. They didn't do it. They didn't do it. I've been talking about Dan Campbell's sack so much it was just on my mind. God, it was
Yeah,
just
I would say I'm really looking forward to this 49ers Chiefs Super Bowl. In the sense that I'm going to root against both teams extremely aggressively. And if they tie 0-0, it would be awesome. But I want you guys to not pick, but tell me who the lesser of both evils is.
I
What
have
do
a
you
Brock
mean? Like
Purdy
who we?
agenda. So when my boy Brock has another 320 total yards, who cares about an eye test? Just when I have never lost a playoff game I've started and finished, and then I can get on Twitter and yell at Nick Wright some more for discrediting Brock Purdy the entire year, and he beats Nick Wright's golden boy Patrick Mahomes. It might make me tear up a little bit. So that's who I'm obviously gonna pull for. And they made me like $70 tonight, so go Niners.
Yeah, I agree. Ever since this whole like, especially man, if you've been following Nick Wright for some years, the Mahomes just agenda is so annoying, and it just makes you like root against him so hard. So that's not gonna stop for me. Um, you don't even have to talk about Taylor Swift when it comes to me. It's purely the Mahomes, Tony Romo, straight glazing
Glazing.
that I
Um,
cannot stand. Mahomes made a 5-yard pass, and Tony Romo went ahead and said, "This is great quarterback play here." And I'm just like, I mean, he got a completion. I mean,
Tony Romo doesn't know what it feels like to win a playoff game. He's just living through Patty.
no, it
He's
was like I don't know. It was just random play in the second quarter. He throws a 5-yard little hitch route to Kelsey or Richie, or whatever his name. I don't know who it was, Rasheed Rice, and
Richie
he's just like
James.
Richie James. He's just like, this is absolutely incredible quarterback play here. And I'm just like,
I
Yeah,
for,
it
the
for
gets
for
it
me
gets
the
old.
it is so it's so close because like I just can't cheer for either one of them. And for me, the Chiefs thing for the Chiefs for me, it's completely opposite of what you said. I don't dislike Mahomes. I think he is one of the best quarterbacks of all time, and I think he has proven that over and over and over again. He's got a chance to win back-to-back Super Bowls and to be the first person to do it since Tom Brady. And Tom Brady has this one thing called being the goat. Um, and I don't I mean, he's been kind of annoying this year, just kind of whining about stuff. But like, I'd be pretty frustrated too if I was throwing the ball to Kadarius Tony and Valdez Scantling. So
Did you see Tony on live the other day was like, I ain't even hurt for real.
Yeah, he's
yeah,
I ain't
he
hurt.
he had a kid and he wasn't even hurt, and they were like, "We don't need you," but they'll bring him back for the Super Bowl because he's a Super Bowl demon. Uh,
Punt returns.
but yeah, for me, it's just all the Taylor Swift and the rah rah and the push and all this on social media, and it just, to me, it just makes it feel so scripted. Like it's not. We know it's not, but we don't know it's not. But we know it's not. And Mahomes continues to be a good quarterback. And if it was anybody but him, like if it was, God forbid, Tua making a miracle run out of Miami or something, and Taylor Swift's dating Braxton Berrios like that one girl is, like
Alex Earl.
like
Alex Earl.
dude, I don't know, but I'll probably end up cheering for the 49ers because Brock Purdy's not a, like, I don't hate Brock Purdy. I just don't want to see him win Super Bowl MVP because he's not going to deserve it and he doesn't deserve it. So I'll probably cheer for the 49ers just because, like, who wants to see the same team win over and over again, you know?
And I can't, the amount of people that are gonna put Mahomes over Brady here in short order because of some Super Bowl, like a couple more Super Bowls, is gonna make me die a little inside.
How many does he have
Uh,
right now? Two?
yeah,
I think if
Was
he
the MVP of
I think
both?
if he gets to like 5 or 6, you can put him in the conversation, but that's it. You can put him in the
I think
conversation. I'm still not putting him over Brady, but you can put him in the conversation.
I would agree. I think if he gets to like 5 or 6, the only thing that'll keep him from surpassing at like 5 or 6 will be the fact he's 0-2 against Brady in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
and
I think
longevity. I don't know if he has a career like Brady had.
that's true. He gets hit a little bit more. Oh, did you guys hear the stat during that game that said it had been like 3 full playoff games since he was sacked until he got sacked in like the fourth quarter of that game?
Yeah.
That was baffling to me. That's like a testament to Chiefs O-line.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I mean, yeah, like since you just brought that up, like the biggest one thing I when I watch these Chiefs offense, just this entire playoffs is that he's just not easy to sack. He's not the fastest. He's not this like crazy athletic guy, but he's got this great ability to just make one hitch and find a way to get out of there and get yards, and it's very
And great
incredible to
pocket
watch.
awareness. Like
Yeah, very
he
great.
stepped
Yeah,
up to the right spot every time. It is.
that's one thing I've never really noticed about his game until this playoffs. So,
In
but yeah,
conclusion
I'm
for the
glad you brought
weekend,
that
Brock
up.
Purdy led a 17-point comeback. He's pretty much the greatest quarterback in the league. I love the guy.
This guy
He did it
said
all by
lead.
himself. He had no help
Lead.
whatsoever.
Lead. Lead?
He
Lead?
had no help
Lead or was
whatsoever.
a part of? He was a
He
part
had
of.
no help.
He was a
He's got
part
he's got
of.
no supporting cast whatsoever. He looked up at the scoreboard, saw they were
Oh
down, and
no.
took the game into his own hands.
Oh no.
Uh,
I already got the memes made for next week. I got
it's all good.
I got
I
the
will.
memes made for. I got one. I got my Brock Purdy apology form. I have that ready to go just in case. But I also have Brock. We need you to win us this game.
Kevin Jennings.
In
I'm
all
re- I'm
seriousness,
ready
in
for
all
either.
seriousness,
I'm ready for
in all
either.
seriousness, he had 50 rushing yards today, which I've never seen before.
He had a
That
good
was
scramble.
incredible.
He had like a
He
30
was
yard
like,
scramble.
he was busting loose out there. He picked up like three
He
third
looks like
downs.
Kyler Murray when he's running with the little legs.
But he improvised a lot, so I think we should give him a little bit of credit, even if he did have his biggest play off of the Lions' defense's face mask. Um,
Tip of the cap. Brock, you played an aight game. Good job.
320 all-purpose yards if you like include the rushing.
He had that. He
Um,
had that one thing. The turnover.
the pick in the first quarter was horrendous. I'll absolutely admit that was horrendous. I don't even know who he was throwing that to
Yeah.
be honest. But after that, once Big Mo
When the
got
Mo
on
shifted,
their side,
he's a big
once
Mo
Big Mo
guy.
got,
He's a big Mo guy.
maybe that's it. He's just got to have.
He's just
He's
a
got to be
Mo guy.
feeling good.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's all we got on the championship games. So I guess we'll move into some NBA. All right. So hopping into the hoops here. Obviously, there's a few headlines from this past week. Um, I guess I'll take the lead on going into probably what everybody wants to talk about is defense real? Does it exist, and why is it the way that it is right now? I don't know if you guys, but have you seen that guy on TikTok that just yells about defense? He's a Pistons fan, but he's like Jaden Ivey, you can't lean into the screen. What are you doing? And he just screams, dude. He makes like 15. I watched a 21-minute video on TikTok of him yelling about the Pistons pick and roll defense in one game. So do we think that defense just isn't getting coached like it should be? Do we think that the game's a little bit softer than it needs to be? Like, do we think that there's too many fouls, or what do you guys think about two guys dropping 70 in a week? There being a 62 and a 50, or no, Book had 62
It
as
was
well.
64. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was like
Yeah,
260s
64.
and 270s in a week.
yeah. Can I add something really quick with like the whole like defense and like you just said like fouls and stuff? Like I thought the NBA tried to address like how easy it was. It was the James Harden effect.
Yeah, you
How
can't
easy
James
it
Harden
was.
anymore.
Yeah,
And
they
how
got
no, but you
gave
yes you
you up
can
for
because you
flopping.
can Joel Embiid. You can
Yeah,
Joel Embiid.
they said they were gonna start teeing guys up for flopping, but their like definition of flopping is very like it's not a
It's smart.
concrete thing. It's
It's
entirely
like
subjective.
their definition of flopping is like if you fall down from that, sure, that's a
Yeah,
flop. But if they're like, if you're Joel Embiid and you're 300 pounds, or I don't know how much he weighs, he's just a big dude, and you run into like a guard and just fall down, like that's not a flop. You ran into him. You ran into him.
But yeah,
yeah,
you can Joel Embiid now get 20 free throws, and hey, it's not that hard to put up 50 points. You know.
yeah. I think that's part of why guys aren't playing D too. It's like either I can foul him and him get the 2 points, or I can just not play D and he's getting the same 2 points. 70 points has happened. I think it was like 15 total times by like 10 different dudes, and two of them were within a week. Um, like I remember being a
Donovan
little
Mitchell
kid.
and Dame were both within a week of each other, not last year, but whenever that was, weren't they?
Yeah, I
I don't
think they
remember.
were. I think only one of those was 70. I think one was in the
Oh,
60s.
I thought it was
No,
71 and
no.
71. It was 71 and
Dame and
71.
Oh,
Dame and Mitchell both have a 70 game.
It was both
either
71.
way, Like, I remember being a little kid, and when Melo dropped like 61 in the Garden or whatever, that shit was awesome. Like, that was crazy. It was like, oh my god, what a game! Like, people are gonna talk about this forever. Braun had like a 50 some
62,
point game. Yeah, like some
62 against the Knicks, I'm pretty sure.
yeah. Like, he had that game, people were like, "Oh my god, that's like the most points ever scored in the Garden at the time. Like, this is awesome. This is the coolest shit I've ever seen." Like, it used to be if you saw a 50-point game like during the season, you remembered it. Like, that was
Yeah,
elite. But now it's like
Hey,
50-point games or like 30-point games, like from
yeah.
10, 15 years ago. It's crazy.
like
Like,
35.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah,
like scoring so inflated. Like, everything is so inflated. It's I think part of it has to do with like the rules and the officiating, but I also think it has part to do with these dudes don't hate each other enough anymore.
yeah,
Like, I think you're gonna play much harder defense if you hate the other team.
yeah.
And I'm seeing guys lose in heartbreaking fashion and then jersey swap after the game. Man, when I was
Man,
10
what
years
I
old
wouldn't
and
do to go back in time to watch Larry Bird and Magic Johnson hate each other's guts, man.
yeah,
Hate
I
each
just
other.
I just can't fathom like being okay with losing and liking your opponents. Man, when we were
Unless
like
it's
10,
Draymond and
11,
Bron.
12 years old, we learned like, man, when you step on that floor, you hate that
You
other
got
team.
no
When you step
friends,
on the
man.
field, you hate the like you should want to demoralize, destroy, and disgrace their families with what you do to them on the field/court at all times. I think the NBA's lost that. I think the NBA loves their fashion show, rah rah, let's go out there and have fun nonsense. They don't even hand check each other no more when they get angry. There's no frustration fouls. Like, somebody needs to get mad and like, I don't know,
And by
just
that sense, your favorite player in the league is Draymond Green.
I had to say,
I'm
yeah,
not
come on
saying
now.
punch him in the face. I'm
We
saying
need
like
we need more DeMarcus Cousins is what we
We
need.
need Boogie back.
We need Boogie.
KG is
KG,
the best example of like just
yeah.
being a gritty, hard nose. I'm gonna play defense, talk my shit, and like try to kill you this whole game. And I don't feel like anybody in the league does that. The MVP of the league is the most flopping 20 free throw shooting, like arm flailing soft guy I've ever seen play basketball. Like, when that guy's the MVP, you know the league is playing soft.
And
It's just
even going into that, like second in MVP voting Jokic, he's not a good defender. He's a decent defender around the rim, but he can't defend the perimeter. He's not going to get aggressive on you unless you say something about his Serbian brothers. Um, like
and he's fat.
Shea also shoot like I love Shea, and he's not a flopper by any means, but Shea shoots so many free throws, like because he's constantly attacking the rim because he knows that 60% of the time he's going to get a foul call. Like if somebody jump, like if you're, he's a 6'6" point guard that's faster than 90% of the people on the court. If he gets by his first man and jumps to go up to the rim and someone else jumps with him, if he does not either get not contacted at all or miss the shot or whatever, he's gonna get a foul call. Like if you jump with these guards in particular, like they're gonna get a foul call. And Kerr was complaining about free throws and all this, and
Curry took like 23s
Curry
in that
took
game. That was
21
ridiculous.
three-pointers. You expect him
Yeah,
to shoot a bunch of free throws?
yeah, no, I did think that was a dumb comment by Kerr because no shit, your guy's not gonna get free throw calls. He's shooting from 25 feet from the rim.
All right, so I got two more things, kind of based off of that game. One is like, it's we're getting to the end of an era here with Bron and Curry, and it's sad. Like it's crazy. Like that's our childhood, to be honest. For guys our age, like we grew up on that. And then the second thing is based off of both of those. Can we discuss plus minus as a stat and how flawed it is? Okay, because I'm sitting here, I'm looking at this box score. LeBron James shot over 50% from the field, 50% from three, was 6 for 6 on free throws, had 20 rebounds, 12 assists, and 36 points, only turned the ball over 3 times, and had a plus minus of -6.
Curry, I think, was a -2, and he had 46 points, right?
Yeah.
How's it even possible?
Jared
Because
Vanderbilt had 14, 5, 4, 9, 7 with 2 turnovers and had a plus minus of plus 30.
Yeah, Draymond I think was a plus like
Plus,
35 or something.
yeah, this is the worst stat ever invented. Get rid of it. I never want to see it again. Draymond Green had a plus minus of 31 in that game. Also, he has been playing really good since he's come back. If he refrains
Yeah,
from punching people in the face, like he might have a pretty
they should
decent
just
rest of the
rest
year.
Draymond every time they play like a white EuroLeague center because those are his prime targets. So if
Yeah,
they just don't let him match up
you
against
can't.
European
Yeah,
centers,
you can't. We can't have no. He can't play against the Clippers. He can't play against the Suns. He can't play
oh, they
against the
might need him against
Nuggets.
the T-Wolves
He
because
can't play against the
Gobert, they might.
Nuggets. He doesn't count, does he?
He choked
He choked
Gobert
him
out.
out.
He
That's
choked
He
true.
choked him out.
Well, no, he definitely can't play against Gobert. But Gobert's not
I
a
like how
EuroLeague
quickly
guy.
we
He came
caught
straight
on to that.
here.
Like, what, didn't he not just put him in a
Didn't
chokehold like a
Gobert come
couple months
straight here
ago?
like he was not a EuroLeague guy.
Nah, he wasn't, but he's French.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know what,
I
Draymond?
forgot
I
he was
think
French. I forgot
no,
he was French.
Draymond. You should continue to play against Gobert because he's French.
Quit,
I
quit,
forgot
quit,
about your whole French
quit.
thing on this podcast, man. Okay, so yeah, it's the end of
Oh,
an
my,
era,
my
man, and
point
it's
on plus
sad.
minus, before I get distracted with the French, my point on plus minus
This guy
is
hates
that
Napoleon.
it should only be used for lineup combinations. This is super weird, but I think it's actually a great analytical tool in seeing your best lineups you can put out there as a coach. Like if you can run 3 different starting fives over the course of similar opponents and use plus minus to determine which ones are actively outscoring their matchups on any given time. I love it on a lineup basis. I hate it on an individual basis.
Yeah, so I think at this point it's time to get into our GLV player of the night. Our GLV player of the night from January 27th is a man that we're all familiar with on a team that we're all familiar with. Okay. The Utah Jazz don't like to pass, and we know this.
But is pass.
And when they matched up against the Charlotte Hornets on Saturday night to get their 24th win, to get them back above 500, our man, John Collins, put on an absolute masterclass, okay? 20 points, 2 blocks, 10 boards, give him the double double. I mean, why not, right? 13 shots, none of those assists, 32 minutes. That's good for a GLV rating of 67.64. 67.64. I'm sorry that my ESPN just turned on some sound. So 67.64. Attaboy, John. Um,
We're
it's
all real proud of you
it's
back home.
impressive. It's impressive.
Shout out to Wake Forest for teaching him how to not pass.
All right, Elliot, take over on the trivia. I think I know who it is, or I think I know what it is, but you got it.
Here we have the starting quarterbacks of the Cleveland Browns since they came back to life in what was it, 99? We've all seen that poor soul who has the jersey with all of these names on it. So, in theory, we should be able to get like a few of them. I did this by myself like before. Y'all aren't going to get every name on here. Y'all probably will get maybe like half of these names on here. We're going to do 5 strikes. I feel like that's a reasonable amount, and it should clear a decent-ish amount of the board. The top game started guy is 59 games, and then there's about a million people with 1 to like 4. So, can you guys see like
Yeah,
this
I'm
at all?
good. I'm good.
All right. So, we'll do the rock paper scissors and get it going. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Paper beats rock. Garrett is up first.
Deshaun Kaiser.
That's
Deshaun Kaiser
crazy.
with the
Going
first
to
guess at the 101 is wild, but he is correct.
is this the strategy you're gonna go? Name like the off the wall ones,
No,
and
I
then
just
like
I just know that we both know that one, and it's like a mediocre one, so like I had to get it off there.
all right, that's fair. That's fair. Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco, awesome. Let me find where he's at in the grand scheme of this list. He's right here.
Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield, believe it or not, is tied for the lead
Oh
in
my
starts at
gosh.
quarterback
That's
by
crazy.
the Cleveland Browns franchise as it's known
All right.
today.
Sean Watson.
We don't say his name around here, man. That it's a
Just
bad omen to say his name.
Cody Kessler.
Wow, that you should have kept that one in the back pocket. I feel like that was
I don't
where's
have
he
that
at?
many, so I have to keep going with these, man.
Cody Kessler's on the board.
He started 8 games. Wow.
That's
Dorian
their own
Thompson.
16. Man.
Oh, you ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, DTR.
Torian Thompson Robinson is on the list right here. He's got a big blank. They have the years next to him if that is any help at all, if you can see it.
Uh, Philip PJ never loses football games. Walker.
That is another correct answer. The guy does not lose even when he has negative touchdown interception ratios.
This
Give
is
me
this is
a
gonna start getting hard.
give me a Jeff Driscoll.
Jeff Driscoll did start a game this year. Yes, sir.
All right, give me Brady Quinn.
Oh man.
Brady Quinn, aka the brother-in-law of the GOAT, AJ Hawk. Let me find where he's at so I don't accidentally do 7 to 09. See this one? Yeah. Brady Quinn on the board. Great hair.
Um, give
Dude.
me a Brian Hoyer.
Brian Hoyer is on the list. If I
Grayson's gonna know more Browns than me because he plays in the division. Crap.
That's not true.
Crapola. No, it's
Not
true.
true.
It's true.
where's he at?
It's true.
Okay, I found him. I
It's,
found him.
it's
I
gotta
found him.
be true.
Brian Hoyer started 16 games for the Browns over 2 years. I'm pretty sure Brian Hoyer started a year 6-0 as a Browns quarterback, if I'm not mistaken.
Did Josh Dobbs ever start a game for the Cleveland Browns? Probably not.
This one got me too when I was doing it. He was a preseason player only. Josh Dobbs is not on the list. That's strike one.
That should have been a clarification.
Give me Whedon.
Brandon Whedon is on the list. Guy's a stud.
Yeah, dude, I'm like already out of names.
Yeah, literally just name the worst quarterbacks you can think of, and they're probably on this list somewhere.
Oh man, I don't know that many Browns quarterbacks. I'm trying to look at the years. It's tough though, because like, who watched the Browns in 2010 besides Grayson?
Only for like 1 to 2 games a year.
Hmm,
There's a couple obvious ones you guys are maybe skipping over to save, or I don't know.
buddy, I'm just lost. You threw it on me, and the only name that came into my mind was Brady Quinn.
10 seconds.
It's
Nah,
Brady.
Deshaun Kaiser was up there.
No, I know, but those were just the names that came into my mind. So who do we have?
10 seconds.
1, 2, 3.
Shot clock winding down.
Dude, there's so many, but I don't know any of them. I don't know why I feel like this is right, but I don't think it's right.
Come on, Elliot.
I'm gonna 10.
Okay. What about like a Kitna? Did a Kitna start any games for Brown?
I don't remember seeing his name, but I'll look through the whole list.
I'm lost, so I'm just gonna throw out bad quarterbacks.
I do not see John Kitna on the list. That is strike two for Garrett. Oh no. Grayson has a lead. That's the most dangerous place for him to be.
No, it's not. I promise. I'm in
Give
trouble.
me a Tyrod Taylor.
I'm in trouble.
Tyrod Taylor did start 3 games for the Browns.
I didn't even know he played for the Browns in 2018.
Bang.
See,
Bang.
it's because he started.
Tyrod
2 of them were against the Steelers.
Back to UG.
Might as well just start skipping me, brother.
You're gonna be mad if you do it for about a couple of these. I'm
No, I
pretty
know.
sure.
I can see pictures of them in my brain, but I can't like tell you who they are. So Baker was what years? Okay. And then dude, I'm
I would try to live in like this area if I were you guys, like this area.
I don't even know what you just showed.
I don't know what you're showing.
From like the 11 games started to like the 8-ish games started is a fun place to be.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I can't think of years and
Hmm. God, like all the ones that like were gonna pop into my mind are the ones that he's taken, like Whedon and Hoyer. Um, this is a Grayson win right here. He looks like he's sitting on a few too.
shot clock, shot clock.
Yeah, I'll start at 20 here. 20.
Mm, I don't know. I'm about to throw out a random name. I just gotta think of the most
Yeah.
random name possible.
8.
Uh, Dan Orlovsky.
Dan Orlovsky is a great bad quarterback guess, but he is not on this list. That is
Um,
strike 3, 2 to
I,
go
I'm
for
t-
carry.
I
Oh
have
no.
I have
give
no
me
more.
give me a Josh McCown.
Josh McCown is
No way
on
he's
the
not on
list.
this.
He is on the list. I'm
Okay,
trying
there
to
we go.
find where he's at on the list.
I don't know
15,
who in the
16,
world
right
played for the
here. Bang.
All
Browns.
right, I'm
Josh
done, Garrett.
McCown.
I'm just hoping that you get 2 strikes before I get 5. So let's
Oh
move
well,
this on.
it's
Shot
gonna
clock.
take 2 guesses, so
Shot clock.
it's gonna
Put it
take two
on.
guesses.
Guys, come on. There's like 2 names I thought were locks to be like off of here by now.
Dude, I don't. Look at how many people are on the list.
Yeah, and of two of the blank ones are like
The 2022 one is making me very angry. Making me very angry. Who started the first 7 games? Jacoby
Shot
Brissett.
clock. Damn.
Kobe Brissett is on the
Oh,
list. Bang. He's
oh
right
my
under the
god, dude. See, this is so dumb. If I just got to look at the years, I can't even see them. They're so blurry. Um,
I don't have
the
any
top
more in the
one.
bag.
The top one is literally the name of the jersey. That's the famous picture. Like,
Uh,
oh, Tim Couch.
that's what I was gonna say, but I feel like that's too early or too
nah,
late.
he was pick 101 by the Browns.
Oh, I thought he played longer than that ago. Well, Grayson,
I think
congratulations on a win. Trivia's over. We're moving on.
you got 2 more guesses to ability. All right, that's
Dude,
on me,
I don't. I didn't know there were so many. Like the names
bro.
on the board would be like the ones that I would guess.
Right here. If he doesn't come off the board, I'm shooting
I
both of
can't
you.
even see what you're pointing at.
It's the second from the bottom on the left side. 25.
Johnny Manziel.
Thank God. Oh
Oh,
my
I
God.
had his. I thought of his name earlier, and I was like, I for some reason I was like, dang it, man. Um, I swear
What?
somewhere on that big jersey with all the names, I saw a Savage on there. So
I don't think so.
Tom Savage is not on the list.
But that's what I'm trying to think about is like random names I saw on the jersey.
Tom Savage is not on the list.
Grayson,
Nope.
congratulations! You lasted longer with strikes than I did.
That's strike
You're gonna
1
go
for you,
home with
right,
the
Greg?
win. 2 or 1.
I was
Okay.
literally, I can't believe I didn't say Manziel. I literally thought of his name before the trivia started.
There's so many, dude. It's like
But we got Elliot here. Anytime it's Garrett's turn, he's like
my,
highlighting years.
my brain
Trying
I
to
gets
make sure.
literally gave you
overflowed.
Tim Couch. I gave you
He
Tim
handed
Couch.
you Tim Couch on a silver platter. Dude, this is ridiculous. I'm just trying to think of like the most mid 6'4" white guys to ever play the quarterback position. Like it's any single one of those guys. Like, oh no, he didn't go there. I'm trying to think around the league of like washed up guys too.
I'm gonna start at 25.
Um, Did what? No, not that guy. The other guy.
10.
Dude, I don't know. What do I got? 5 seconds to come up with a name.
4, 3. Throw
Jake
out a toy.
Delhomme.
Jake Delhomme's on the list.
I remembered that actually last second for
In
some reason.
2010, he played 4 games for the Cleveland Browns. Jake Delhomme is on the list. Garrett, you still have 3 strikes, right?
2.
And Grayson's at 1?
Or I have 3 and he had. Do you have 1 or 2? I thought he
Got
missed
1.
before the Tim Couch.
No, no.
I think he's just the one.
I thought of a crazy name just sitting here, but
He's looking at his phone.
I'm looking at my watch. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm fidgeting. I thought of an insane name, but Rex Grossman.
Maybe.
Rex Grossman is not on the list. That is an awesome bad quarterback, though. Bears and Redskin legend. That's 2 strikes for the Grayson.
All I gotta do is
Garrett
get one
comes
right
back
to
to
like one and a half basically, but it's just not gonna happen, man. The Brady Quinn was like the extent of my knowledge. Like I used to have a card of him where his muscles were popping out and like his veins, and I was like, God, he does steroids. Um, let's think. Let's think. The Jeff Driscoll was gonna be a back pocket, but cooked. Gotta go years. Gotta go years. Gotta think in the year range. That like feels this one answer like feels right, but I don't think it's right.
Fire it off. Fire it off. Go.
No, I'm trying to. Dude, you told me to think about bad quarterbacks. I'm just slamming them in my brain right now, just going over them.
I'm gonna put you on the shot clock again.
That's fine. I'm pushing my shot clock
It
as
should
much as I
start
can.
like immediately, man. You're giving him like 2 minutes.
You're doing the exact same thing.
What do you mean? I'm giving my answer immediately.
Firing these off. 20
Like
seconds.
this is a sham. I'm telling you, this is a sham.
20
It's
seconds.
not my fault you don't want to sit and wait and listen and think.
This is a sham.
Did Matt Moore ever start a game in Cleveland?
Matt Moore did not start a game in Cleveland. That's dude. I love the.
Oh, I know who. I have another one. I have one that's right.
Back to you, Grayson. Back to you.
I have one
You
that's
looked at
right.
his phone.
I just looked at
What'd
my
you say?
water bottle.
Yeah, I'm struggling here. Don't really. I don't know. Case Keenum.
Ah,
Case
there it
Keenum's on
is.
the
That's
list.
the other one that
Case
was on
Keenum.
the trivia that I couldn't remember.
Case Keenum is on the list right above.
You know who
PJ
else is on the
Walker.
list? Derek Anderson's on the list.
Derek Anderson is on the list. He's actually the 3rd ranked guy up there. Another that is a Panther guy. It's a big Panther guy, Derek Anderson. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Backed up Cam his whole career.
Yeah.
So what is he at? 2 strikes. I'm at 4. I'm cooked.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm simply cooked.
Yeah, this would
Some of these names are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Realistically, there's only like maybe 4 more you guys should get or like would get possibly.
I'm doing this just to like put the shot clock. I think it should be an immediate 25 seconds.
All right,
Put on
cool.
Garrett. So I'm just gonna pass. You can
I'll
give me
do
the
it.
strike. Put me at 3 strikes. Make it 4-3.
Bro,
Start the
come
25
on.
seconds.
You can't change the rules midway through because I have 1 strike to go.
I do like it having faster pace at 25 and 25 seconds is plenty of time to come up with one name. So
All right. Well, the shot clock starts. It should start like now.
now. It's starting now.
Okay. No more like those years. We need
15.
to find a way to get the shot clock up on the board.
10.
Up north. Down south. Give me Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson, I believe maybe was a backup there at some point during his 40 billion backup stints, but he did not start. That
That's a
will
good
do
guess.
it.
I kind of got scared there.
I think that'll do it. Or does Grace? You did go first, right?
I went first.
Garrett went first.
But
Should Grayson have to get
he's
one
more than one.
more?
He's more than one strike away, so he
That puts it
wins.
3-5.
That would
Oh
put
yeah,
it at
you're more than
five
one strike
four.
away. It doesn't matter then. Do you have any other people you want to throw out?
Nah, I
Here
know
was my
Blaine Gabbert.
here was my
Blaine
random one.
Gabbert's not on the list, so.
He is not on the
Did
list.
Teddy
Right here,
Bridgewater go to Cleveland?
he did
Oh,
not. At
Okay.
21, we have one
oh
I
wait.
thought you guys definitely would have got. It's Colt McCoy.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's a
He's like the
easy one.
same. Yeah, him and McCown and like Cody
Bra-
Kessler.
They're all the
they're all
same
this one was
person.
no shot. Charlie Fry.
I should have known
Absolutely.
that name rings a bell actually.
Yeah, I know the name, but it's only from the jersey. This guy I've literally never
No,
heard of
never
before.
heard of
Charlie
that.
Holcomb.
Never heard that name
Literally
in
had
my
never
life.
heard of him before. Right here in the middle, bad quarterbacks. Like every bad quarterback's favorite bad quarterback is Trent Dilfer. Just a journeyman play right here, Jeff Garcia.
Dude, I almost
Um,
said Jeff Garcia. Oh.
this one's really fun because I forgot he went there after his Redskin tenure, but it's Jason Campbell.
Oh wow, I didn't know that either.
This is Philly Doug Peterson.
Oh wow.
Started 8 games as a quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. I literally barely for some reason I know this name, but I don't know why I know this name. Seneca Wallace. He might have been a Steeler or Seahawk. I don't remember. This one was one of the ones that I figured was a lock to come off the board. As Jay Gruden said, the Browns didn't want you. The Ravens didn't want you. It's Robert
yeah,
Griffin III.
RG3, yeah.
Under the loam, another just journeyman play. The other McCown.
I didn't even know it was 2 McCowns.
Ken Dorsey, no shot. Ty Detmer, no shot. This one, you would hit remember that name, Austin Davis, but
I don't remember that name.
I think I only remember him because he was he was one of those starting bronze cards in Madden you would get when you start Ultimate Team. Bruce Gradkowski, Kevin Hogan, Thad Lewitt.
This was the one I was curious about. Nick Mullins.
Mullins.
That's who it was.
Nick Mullins got one.
That's the one I was curious about.
Connor Shaw and Spurgeon Wynn. That concludes.
Never again.
How bad
Never
the Browns
again.
have been, and you're like, wow, it's impressive. But then you look at this list and you know why they've been so bad.
All right, well, we might
congrats to Grayson.
We might as well rip our outro now.
Congrats to Grayson. Finally picking up a big dub. The Cleveland quarterbacks, I kept it within the division. That's what did
he
it
asked
for
for
him,
he asked for the Steelers 53 man. He got one within the division. So Grayson makes it the next one, so I can lose again. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
That was good. That was good.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, so that's gonna wrap it up for episode 5. We appreciate y'all watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace.